Now, every summer, millions of us get behind the wheel of a hire car, even abroad. But getting a good deal and avoiding excess charges can be tricky business.
Well, Martin Lewis is here to help us investigate our way through, so he's going to tell us what we need to know. So, let's start, first of all, with when you should book your car.
As early as possible. Do not leave it until you get there. Even if you're going to want 1 or 2 days when you're away, it's far better just to book them in advance. I mean, if you're booking now for a cheap car in, say, Tenerife or Malaga, you're probably talking £12, £13 a day. If you leave it till you get there for the lowest class car, you're probably talking £40, £50 a day. Just to give you an example on that, Dave got in touch with me, booked 4 months ahead, got 10 days for £296 for a decent sized car. Day before I went, I checked, and it was £900.
Oh, gosh.
That's the scale of difference. So, I mean, if you're going away next week, don't leave it till next week. Do it right now. I'd get on a comparison site like Kayak or Car Rentals. One other quick thing to watch, especially if you're only booking for a few days. Many car hires now have this: pick up a full tank and return an empty tank. Now, if you're hiring a mid-sized car, it's €100 to fill a tank. So you pay that €100 for the fuel. You're only driving 40, 50 miles. You're not going to use the tank. It's £100 extra on top. So if you're only going to be looking for a few days, take a look at the fuel options on the comparison sites.
Right.
And you want pick up full, return full, which means you go to a petrol station before you drop it off, you fill it up, and then you're only paying for what you used. Can be a really big hidden charge, that one.
What's about hidden charges? Insurance. Because when you get there, you think, oh, I just want to be covered for everything because I'm in a different country, and what do I do?
This is the big scam with car hire, and this is the one everyone needs to understand. You will have basic insurance included when you hire your car. But when you get to the desk, and I hire cars a lot, and I hear this at the desk all the time, and I have this really big debate in myself: if they're British people, should I intervene or not? Should I tell them what to do or not? And then I think it's rude standing next to one holiday.
If they weren't British, you wouldn't intervene. You only intervene for British people, do you?
Well, they at least might know who I was, Philip. And I also don't know the rules in other countries of how you would do it there. It was not a xenophobic comment. It was a knowledge-based comment. People all around the world, if you have problems with car hire, you can get in touch with me, but I won't know your system. Now, shall we move on?
Go on.
This is what happens. You've got the basic insurance, you get to the desk and they go, hey, senor, you're in Spain, I'm assuming, or France, maybe that accent would work. You need excess insurance, because what they say is you have to pay the first €1,000 of any claim. And I had someone recently who the gearbox went wrong when they were driving it, and they were charged €1,000 for that. They didn't have the excess insurance. They were told they have to pay it. And the people at the desk use fear sales techniques to get you to get this excess car hire insurance. And I see people panic all the time. Now, just to put this in context, the best thing to do if you want that insurance, because they will scare you successfully, is to get it before you go. There's a comparison site called Money Maxim that gives you standalone car hire excess insurance here. I'll give you another quote on that. Glyn, thanks. Followed your info on this. Got a week's excess insurance for £13. Rental company wanted £12 a day.
Oh, right, wow.
So that's the scale of difference, and it can be 20 quid a day.
So it's good to get it, but don't necessarily get it with the company.
Don't ever get it with the company. It will cost you a fortune, generally you do. Now, this is the problem. Even if you have the excess insurance, and I do, when you go to the desk, they'll say, no, that doesn't count. Don't listen to them. It does count, but they'll want a deposit on a credit card. It has to be a credit card, not a debit card, not a prepaid card. If you haven't got a credit card, you can't do this. And it must be the person who booked. Last time I was there, the person next to me at the desk, his wife had the credit card. No, it's your booking. They wouldn't allow him to use it, so he got the excess insurance wrongly. So you need a credit card by the person who booked to leave the deposit when you're there. I should say, by the way, one time a couple did say to me and go, by the way, we've got our own excess policy, and turned and went, haven't we, Martin? So it did work that one time. But someone had spotted it going through that way. Yeah, be really careful. Get excess insurance. Make sure you've got a credit card. Leave a deposit on the credit card. If you have an accident, they'll take it off the credit card, but then you go to the excess insurance company who give you the money back.
Do you pay for an international driving licence?
If you're driving in Europe, you don't need one. Your UK driving licence is fine. If you're going beyond Europe, it's recommended in most countries and required in some, including the USA. You have an international driving licence. Cheapest place to get it is at the post office, where it's £5.50. You can get it from the AA or RAC too. I would suggest you do get one. Yeah.
OK, what about rules in other countries and unwanted fines?
Well, one I'd really like to point out is in France. If you're driving to Paris, Lyon or Grenoble in your own car, you need to have a Crit Air certificate put on, which tells you the pollution level of your car. This is a new rule, so people who often drive to France won't know about it. If you don't have one of those, it can be a 60 quid fine. You get it from the French Environment Ministry's website for €4.80. And like everything else of this ilk, only go to that website. Be very wary of Googling these things, because there are shyster companies out there who try and charge you more, and all they do is actually pass your details on. But other things, remember, in some countries, if you're driving on the right-hand side of the road, you can turn right on a red light, and then people will beep you if you don't do it. You have to know the rules of the road. In Spain, if you're driving and you wear glasses or contacts, by law, you're meant to have a second set of glasses or contacts in your car. And don't put bags on the back seat if you're driving in Spain. And check, if you've got kids, the rules for when they can be in the front or not. It's not always the same as in the UK. So it's worth, wherever you're driving abroad, checking up the rules first.
All right,
Martin,
thank you very much. Lots
very
of
much
information.
indeed.